the south here in this residential neighborhood, there are a ton of open fields, and that is what's really kicking up this dust. We haven't seen any lightning. We haven't felt any sprinkles yet, but it's really hard to tell whether or not there's any clouds behind that dust or it's just a big wall of dust coming. But as you can see, we're getting hit pretty hard down here south of the valley in the city of Maricopa. We were down here for another story, and of course, we wanted to bring you what was going on here. This, as Norman said, could very well be making its way into the valley. We'll keep you posted if anything changes out here. Reporting live in Maricopa, Donna Rossi, 3TV.
Taught for about a year and a half, and then he didn't get paid enough. He couldn't make a living off of it, and so he went elsewhere to find work. And I think that's the way a lot of people are.
Low pay, long hours, just a few of the reasons why Arizona teachers are now fleeing the profession.
And you know what school administrators say, hiring back those who leave is almost impossible. Zahid Arab is live with how local districts are trying to deal with it.
Well, aside from thousands of openings, a new report out shows that almost 500 Valley teachers didn't.
They aren't playing any games with this.
Oh, not at all, Katie. In fact, these students could be facing felony charges as well as disciplinary actions from the different schools that they attend. And what we don't know right now is if this school, North High School, has any students involved right now. But we do know from our sources that this school was involved in those threats. And these threats, terrifying and just bizarre, including creepy clowns as profile pictures, explaining the violence they plan on doing. And these posts getting shared, liked, commented on, passed around like wildfire. Phoenix Police say just because it's on social media and just because it doesn't seem credible doesn't mean they don't have to investigate it like the real deal, putting officers at those schools, and that cuts into the already limited resources of the department.
We know we're still down officers despite our hiring efforts. We can't afford to be at dozens and dozens of officers at every school, so we need to identify the problem and deal with it as quickly as we can.
The department also telling us this definitely caused a lot of kids to be out of school today, scared of what might happen. We talked to a few parents here who didn't want to go on camera, but say they are relieved that those 3 students police believe were involved were arrested today. But police telling us they have a lot more investigating to do, and they're already talking to more students, so more people could be out of the classrooms and into handcuffs in the coming days as this investigation continues, guys.
Yeah, they should be able to feel safe at school. Megan, thank you.
A crime alert and a little vindication tonight. If you're sick and tired of thieves, we showed you this video last week during our news at 10. A couple creeping along an apartment complex, the parking lot near 20th Street in Camelback, and hitting up cars one by one. Now we know a man and a woman are under arrest for 6 different cases as well as drug charges. The stolen stuff now going back to its rightful owners, and kudos to the Phoenix officer who actually remembered the suspect's car from a flyer. ASU police say this guy gave up the evidence no problem while being questioned about taking pictures of women at a campus bathroom last night. They say 21-year-old Xiaowen Zhang let officers look at his phone, where they found at least 6 pictures.
2016, more than 2 million Hispanics call our state home. That is about 30% of the total population. The Hispanic Chamber's Datos report is now in its 20th year. These numbers were released at an event this morning that Team 12's Bram Resnick and myself were honored to MC.
And in a day where families have more options to choose between traditional and charter schools, one Chandler Public School is finding a way to set itself apart.
That's right. It is making it possible for students focusing on athletics or the arts to be able to attend a classroom as well.
Team 12's Jen Wall shows us how it works.
Chandler's Elite Performance Academy is offering more choices for Valley kids. The school caters
and give himself up peacefully, think about his children.
Police say Russo flooded the house and then shot himself in the head sometime during that standoff. The U.S. Border Patrol confirms Russo joined the agency in 2011. He was 40 years old.
Well, you guessed it, politicians weighing in, and they've got a lot to say about that first presidential debate. And tonight in Democracy 2016, Arizona Senator Jeff Flake is loud and clear about that microphone issue Donald Trump keeps talking about. Flake says, quote, "When you blame the mic, that's as close as you get to conceding you had a bad night." Meantime, Hillary Clinton taking a lot of applause from voters in North Carolina as she got right back on the campaign trail, telling the crowd she was happy to lay out her vision for the U.S. Clinton predicts record turnout this November.
If this is what the pawn shop looks like now, imagine seeing it from the lens of a surveillance camera. That's what MCSO is up to right now. The burglary in Sun City happened about 12 hours ago near 99th Avenue in Bell. You can see the van there butted up to the store. The surveillance video may help find who is behind this crime and whether anything.
The debate was something that really both candidates showed where they are and what they believe. I don't know how many people were swayed one way or another.
And Newt Gingrich says that debate was a historic victory for Donald Trump. Gingrich was among those on
Act. It would give businesses 120 days to fix issues before a lawsuit could be filed.
We're trying to get people to comply with the law and actually do something good here instead of
their van didn't start. Mike Watkiss joining us tonight with that story. Mike.
Yeah, Brandon, you can see they're busy trying to build the door back on this Sun City pawn shop where a smash and grab on wheels took place early this morning with burglars backing a stolen passenger van right through the pawn shop's front door.
I didn't know it was my favorite pawn shop, and that really shocked me.
A shocking start to the morning at a Sun
Director of Ability 360 and other disability rights organizations say
two more reasons.
Defense after the 49ers quarterback has refused to stand during the national anthem. Go to facebook.com/Fox10Phoenix to send us your feedback.
Still ahead on Fox 10 News at 6, we meet a former ASU student who's launched a fitness program with dance routines. But first, the latest on a growing wildfire in the Santa Cruz Mountains threatening a number of homes not far from the city's landmark beach boardwalk.
They don't have time to wait, but they've had to. Very soon, families in the East Valley will get a chance to find affordable housing.
New complaints tonight about what the light rail is really delivering. One neighborhood says it's crime.
Well, they help Joe solve problems every day, and they've been helping school kids get new clothes for 30 years. Now, coming up, Joe's going to let you know why this Assistance League program has been so very important.
Well, it certainly wasn't just one guy's fault, but he is taking the brunt of the heat. The message to the rest of the team, make 2 critical mistakes and you'll be looking for a job.
And just look at all of that dust, a big dust storm picking up south of the valley, and it is headed into the Phoenix Metro right now. The National Weather Service has just included the Phoenix Metro in their blowing dust advisory, which is in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at some of the other storm threats we could see tonight and how long storm chances are going to stick around this week.
Sheriff Paul Bebu.
The name of the show, Tamale's Voice.
3-time Emmy winner, The Voice, new tonight on NBC.
This dust storm, as we look toward the east, has just blown over the Sandtown Mountains. Folks in South Chandler and Gilbert are probably going to be seeing this dust relatively soon.
All right, Jerry Ferguson up in the Penguin Air and Plumbing News Chopper right now, just giving us a spectacular view of a wall of dust that is headed here into the valley. We're going to continue to monitor these live pictures coming into our newsroom. We'll be right back after this break.
Medical marijuana dispensaries could be popping.
State government. Marijuana use among high school students has not increased since legalization. At the same
talking about buying a car on the internet?
I'm still talking about buying the car until I get a car.
How do they ship it?
schools every year. Let's vote yes on Prop 205.
Hola, mi nombre es April, and I love my new Ford Focus. I'm super happy that I was able to finance my own car because I really thought that my mom was going to have to co-sign for me, but Ford Credit made it possible for me to afford it, like, on a budget. And I mean, look at my car. It's awesome. And I know that in this car, me siento segura, and I don't have to waste a lot of money on gas. Es lo máximo. I'm so glad I got a Ford.
Now get 0% APR for 6 years plus $2,000 in rebates, or get $4,000 cash back.
You're watching Fox 10 News at 6 with Mark Martinez.
And we have another look for you at Skyfox as that wall of dust moves through Maricopa and Pinal County. There's a blowing dust advisory in effect until 7 o'clock as that system moves through. And again, if you're out caught driving this, especially if you're on a highway or something like that and the visibility drops, they advise you to pull over to the side and turn off your lights so that other cars don't accidentally follow you. But that's if you're caught in the thick of this. As Skyfox pans across, you can see this appears to be a pretty wide dust storm that's moving in. We'll have an update with Dave Muncie on this coming up in just a few minutes, but it looks like it is definitely, at this point, as we widen out here, making its way slowly into the valley at this point. But again, we'll check in with Dave for the very latest on that coming up. Hundreds of homes tonight in California, Northern California, being threatened by a dangerous, fast-growing fire. It's
political corruption, jailing political
100,000 miles. Now that's smart. Right now, get a 20.
There, if you're familiar, it's right along that Santa Cruz Beach boardwalk that is along Monterey Bay, and the fire is actually burning up in the hillsides here. You could see those glowing flames from those pictures that we just showed you above Santa Cruz Beach. And California's heat wave right now is making things even worse. Fox's Adam Housley has the latest.
An intense, fast-moving wildfire. That's what an
their commute, but really these people should be pulling over. We're down to an 1/8 mile visibility, I would say, at max. And earlier, at one point, we were down to the point where I couldn't see more than 3-4 cars past where we are now. I want to take you over here. Look this direction. There's a stoplight just beyond the car that you can see closest to us. It's probably less than 100 yards down there, a football field away from where we are right now. You can't see it. I couldn't tell you if it's red, if it's green, if it's yellow, because this dust is just so bad. Manny, if you want to pan up into the air, look over here toward the blue sky. The blue sky is right above us, but this dust at the lower level of the ground, probably 100 feet up in the air or so, 200 feet up in the air, is just stifling. And it actually appears the worst of it just now passed. But at one point, it was really bad. Now you see we've got some cars stopped right in the middle of the road. And again, this is not what you want to do. I think this person was maybe trying to pull over. And just to be clear, our vehicle's well off the road, so we are not in the way here where we would be up on the road causing a hazard. So I'm not sure why these people are having so much trouble. But look down here. Stop and go traffic. Again, these people should really pull over. You know, pull aside, stay alive is the rule, because when it gets like this, you can't tell if the person in front of you has stopped or if they're still going. I mean, all these people have their headlights on, and really, if it weren't for the dust, it's still bright daylight outside. That's just how dark it is with all this dust blowing. And if you head about, oh, look at this, guys. I want to show you. Turn around here, Manny. Back there, now you can see that stoplight that I was talking about. Like I said, it's just about a football field up from where we are right now. And just now the dust is cleared enough so that you can see that stoplight. And this road takes you up to the I-10 and then up into Phoenix. The dust actually looked a little worse out east toward the I-10. So if you're watching this on your Facebook Live, or you're considering heading outside, or you're in the Maricopa I-10 corridor all the way up to Ahwatukee from where we are right now, I would really consider giving a second thought to going anywhere right now, because like I said, this dust is very, very bad, guys.
Yeah, it's just terrible, and it's moving away from you. So things are improving where you are as it comes into the valley and pushes farther to the north. So this is the bird's eye view from Air 15. A very tall dust storm. We're talking a couple thousand feet up in the air at least, and visibility in the midst of this is dropping to near zero at times. So again, this is moving in. The blowing dust advisory has been extended up into the Phoenix metro till
Looks like it's going to stay to the south of the valley, but it's already moving into town, and that dust will continue to move.
The sudden cut to black is a metaphor for mortality.
Next few years.
You know, expanding and retrofitting the lodges and making it a great experience for people to drive up here and park adequately.
Monique Griego, 12 News.
That's really cool. What's not cool, Joe Dana, is that you still don't want to tell us what the thing is.
Well, I definitely can't say it on air.
How are you going to do that?
You got to keep the secret. It is worth visiting. For those who are driving southeast of the valley right now, maybe on a road trip, they're running into some serious dust, right?
Look at that.
I know. Just it goes to show you that our monsoon is not over yet. It will be officially on the calendar in a few days, but obviously from these pictures that you can see right now coming out of Sky 12, those conditions are still out there. So this Sky 12 shot is coming from near the Chandler Airport, and it's pointing out to the southwest. So basically just to the north there of Maricopa is where we're seeing this dust cloud move up, and again, we're expecting some reduced visibility from this, so be very careful if you're going to be driving in that area. Also, winds gusting up to about 40 miles an hour, so enough to move all that patio furniture around, maybe knock down some signs. So just kind of a heads up there of what's happening just south of the valley. Here's a look at the wind speeds right now. Nothing being reported out of Phoenix Sky Harbor, but Gila Bend, you are reporting a gust right now at 11 miles an hour. So the blowing dust advisory has now been expanded. So earlier it was just for northwest Pinal County and southwest Maricopa County, but now it includes the valley, so the Phoenix metro area, and then extends all the way out to the northwestern part of our county, and that goes out until 7 o'clock. So this is why we're seeing that dust. We've had some showers and storms. They started way down south in Pima County, and since then they've just traveled their way up to the north, moving through the Casa Grande area. And pretty soon it looks like some of these are going to hold together and move through the valley. Now up to the north, we've seen some problems with severe thunderstorms coming out of Show Low. We've had a number of severe thunderstorm warnings. We just had one out for this storm here, which is south and east of Flagstaff, but it looks like that has expired. But again, still, if you're in this area, this is I-40 just to the east of Flagstaff. Be aware of severe thunderstorm conditions there, so damaging winds there in excess of 60 miles an hour. So here's the big picture. An area of low pressure down to our south will continue to move north here over the next couple of days and keep things unstable. So tomorrow, a 20% chance of showers and storms throughout the day. Then we'll pick up another 20% chance there on Thursday. Meanwhile, temperatures will stay below average, but again, that humidity will still be kind of high. By the time we get to the weekend, storms are out of the picture. We're back to sunshine, and temperatures will be sitting in the mid-90s.
This storm system right here, that has generated.
Will your neighbors be able to grow it? And what?
The west at this hour, and they will be approaching the Flagstaff area here as we head towards sunset and even later than that. So watch out for heavy rain, cloud to ground lightning, and even hail with these, plus wind gusts that could be damaging in excess of 60 miles per hour. More showers and thunderstorms farther to the east along the rim. Those are getting pretty strong too, and rain moving in right now toward Lake Havasu City as well. So we got a lot to track and more chances going over the next couple of days as we continue to tap into some moisture here. So for the valley, about a 20% shot for rain for the next several hours. We'll decrease it to 10% overnight and early tomorrow morning, and then bring back another 10% chance in the late afternoon and evening tomorrow. Now, the majority of the activity tomorrow is going to happen in the higher terrain. So chances up there, we're talking 40, 50%, but only a slight chance here in the valley for tomorrow. Prescott will hit 74, Flagstaff 65 tomorrow, 78 in Sedona. Look for scattered showers and thunderstorms up there. Here in the valley, partly cloudy skies, 73 at 6 a.m., 89 at noon, and 90s in your afternoon forecast, still a couple of degrees below average. Right now, we're in the 80s, winds fairly light, but watch for those gusts to pick up as this dust rolls in. We'll stay in the 80s through much of the evening, dropping into the 70s by about 11 o'clock tonight. 73 will be our low, 94 our high tomorrow with that slight chance for rain, and we have more chances to track in your 7-day forecast. We're going to take a look at that coming up in the next half hour.
Watch ABC 15 mornings for your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to Halloween Time at Disneyland Resort.
Watch your kids around water.
Well, when you're a 1-2 football team, everybody's a critic, but there is only one voice that really matters. Head coach Bruce Arians on the state of his football team. Next.
Osborne. After an auto accident, call to get the money you deserve.